one, and we are live on YouTube as well. Okie dokie. All right, there I am. So hit the like button if you enjoy pronunciation classes. Pronunciation is what I like to call the appearance, the looks, the appearance of your English, how you present yourself immediately. And pronunciation mistakes are a communication barrier. That they can be great in the worst sense of the word, great as in big communication barrier. So let's fix one tonight. Let's work on that practice. And let's get started. I'm going to share my screen on YouTube with you. I'm going to share some images, some visual aids that will help you visualize a little better, what I'm telling you. And as I said, you can always pop in. The link is in bio. Let me just go here and share my screen with you. Okay, so people on YouTube, you can already see what I'm sharing. So are you, wait, I don't want you to go automatically, honey. Okay, just stop right there. Are you smart or ISMART? That's the question that I have for you tonight. The pronunciation class is a slight, small, subtle mistake that many Brazilians make. Brazilians that live abroad, Brazilians that work abroad or work at global companies make that mistake as well. So let's move on here. How did I improve my own pronunciation? I'm going to teach you the same techniques in the same way that I improve my own pronunciation. I've never lived abroad. In case you don't know me, I've never lived abroad. And then I improved my own pronunciation, practicing a lot, like finding my own way there, listening and figuring out the sounds that I was listening to. So what I'm teaching you is after a long time, after, a lot of practice, never having lived abroad, I was, able to improve my own pronunciation. So now you're going to test your pronunciation. How do you pronounce this show, very famous Netflix show that everyone is talking about? There is a sentence here on YouTube for you to read. Read that sentence to yourself 3 times. And you on Instagram, read the name of the show here in the comments for me. Also 3 times. 1 time. 2 times. 3 times. I'm going to read it now, okay? Compare your pronunciation to mine. Many people saw Squid Game. Many people saw Squid Game. They saw Squid Game. Most people pronounce this, many people pronounce this incorrectly, saying, many people saw a Squid Game. A Squid Game. A Squid Game. Including an I before the S. That's what we're going to fix tonight. Renata, now come on, that's such a small mistake, a small, subtle sound that I am including. It is not. It is an extra sound that native speakers don't understand where it's coming from, and it's ruining your pronunciation, all right? Don't think it's not. It is. Remember, we are thinking about the 2% English. We are not thinking about an English that is going to open doors when you travel. It's the English that opens doors when you want your career to change. You want a new job. You want a promotion. You want more clients. You want to expand your market. You want to open doors with your English, your 2% English. So, we have to consider that, okay? All right, so considering that, you may be making that mistake, keep going with me, keep watching class, because we're going to fix that tonight. How? We're going to practice in 3 levels, all right? The first, the second, and the third level of practice tonight. And the 4th level of practice is real life. If you have the opportunity to speak English at work, at meetings, video calls, or calls, like phone calls with clients, if you have that, That's the fourth level of practice. The laboratory is 1, 2, and 3, and the real life laboratory is actually, bringing that knowledge into your real life. I know it sounds a little bit like obvious, but it is not. If you work on the first 3 levels really well, you feel confident enough to move it to the fourth level and go into a meeting and pronounce the sound correctly, naturally, without feeling that it's uncomfortable for you or artificial. So all 4 levels are very, very important. Let's begin then. Pronunciation is kind of like a workout. You need to learn new movements for your lips, for your tongue, for your whole, the mechanics of the pronunciation needs to be learned. How do you learn a new movement? You learn it by repeating it with intention, repeating it, being mindful and meaningful. MM2 technique. We're always talking about that here at Fluent for Real. Be meaningful and mindful when you are speaking or learning anything new. So we are going to practice first something very simple and then a little more complex, but not only one time, many times. We are going to practice after the teacher's explanation. You will practice, and most importantly, to close the cycle, the feedback, okay? You need to listen to yourself and really be honest about your performance. If your performance is not 80%, 90%, amazing, good, don't move on. Stop, go back, try again. That's the secret to, in my opinion, most of the successful, students that really reach the 2% English. It's not just about the number of classes, the number of hours they invest, the number of books they read. It's about self-feedback. Am I ready to move on? Am I ready to learn a new sound? Am I ready to go, okay, when I go into a meeting, the 4th level, I will be able to use this sound correctly. So that self-reflection is the secret, okay? So we will ask ourselves that question throughout the class. Okay, so we're going to start then. The first level of practice is, I included, if you are on YouTube, you will see the words on the screen. If not, you will listen to me here on Instagram. I included a or the before the words. Why? Because the problem with the S plus consonant, words like strategy, slow, smile, is exactly the beginning. It's about including a sound. And when we include the article a smile, a strategy, it's very clear to hear if you are saying a strategy or I strategy. I strategy. Can you hear the difference? Wrong. I smile. I smartphone. Smartphone, Black Friday, Black Key Friday, right? Smart, no. A smartphone. So let's get started, okay? Just the article and the word. So repeat with me. A strategy. A strategy. Renata, really? Us? Yes. There is no E strategy. A specialist. A specialist. Are you repeating just like me? Self-feedback. A slide. A slide. The slow laptop. The slow laptop. Let's pause here for a second, okay? When pronouncing this S, L, S, P, S, N, etc., you are just going to make the sound. There is no vibration coming. There is no is, only s, like a snake. A strategy. Imagine that the S is part of the article. A strategy. It's the same thing. A slide. The slow laptop. So let's try one more time. A strategy. A specialist. A slide. Too fast, right? Sorry. The slow laptop. The slow laptop. A smile. A state. A state. The snow in Canada. I don't know if it's already snowing in Canada for MC. The snow in Canada. The smartphone. The smartphone. A small company. A small company. A small. Not ISMO. 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 I can clearly hear I. A small. The snow. Got it? Leave it in the comments here. Let me see. Let me see what you think about your own performance. Can you feel the difference? All right, let me see here on YouTube as well. Can you see the difference between, you know, what you said before, I smile, and the correct form, smile, a smile. A smile on his face, a smile on her face. Can you feel that difference? Are you ready to move on? If you are ready to move on, I mean, this class will be available to you. You can watch it again, okay? I recommend that you do. But if you feel 100% ready, it's time to go to the second level of practice. If you don't feel 100% ready, start again, start over, repeat only this, concentrate on what you're saying. Another tip that I'm always giving, and if you have already joined the Fluent at Work Week event that we host every now and then, it's a big immersion on, you know, English and learning English. We talk about recording yourself. When you are producing the sound, it's difficult to pay attention to everything. So if you record yourself doing the first level practice, listen to yourself. You will be able to find the problems more easily. So it's a recommendation that I give you. It's a tip that my students use and that I recommend to you as well, okay? So let's assume that everybody is doing well with the first level of practice, all right? It's okay. Let's move on to something a little more complex, the second level of practice. So as you can see here on the screen, let me see if I can draw a little bit. Okay, I can highlight this. We are going to, of course, concentrate on the words that have S plus a consonant. Okay, so here on Instagram, repeat with me. If you are enjoying the class, hit the like button here so that Instagram likes us a little better. If you are on YouTube, you have the screen and you can follow the sentence on the screen. So repeat with me. The company needs to focus on strategy. On strategy. Not on strategy. On strategy. Repeat one more time. The company needs to focus on strategy. And see how important it is to pronounce correctly from the beginning. We have already talked here about the final N. You can find this class, pronunciation of the final M and final N. You have to close the N on and then go to the S. On strategy. The company needs to focus on strategy. Next sentence. He's a specialist in the insurance industry. He's a specialist in the insurance industry. Now, are you saying a specialist or a specialist? He's a He's a specialist in the insurance industry. All right. Moving on, next sentence. If you need to repeat a little more, don't worry, watch this class again and go over the exercise again. The clock is about 5 minutes slow. Now, wait, pause, time out. This sentence is here on purpose. There are two S's, minutes, slow, in a sequence. What do most people do? Oh, I have to pronounce the two S's, otherwise my listener will be confused. So I will say minutes is low, minutes is low. I will separate the two. No, you're not going to do that. They will become one. Just like the Spice Girls song says, when two become one. Yes, I'm a 90s girl. So the clock is about 5 minutes slow. The clock is about 5 minutes slow. A native speaker will pronounce it like that, you know, not over pronouncing the S's, not, especially not separating minutes is low. There's no verb to be there. Ale said he loves English. Oh, that's great, Ale. So join us here every week, because every week we're here talking about English and learning a little more. Okay, so one more time. This one is tricky. Let's go. The clock is about 5 minutes slow. Okay, one more. Wanford House, Wanford is the name, okay, of the house. Wanford House was a smaller, more modern hospital. Wanford House was a smaller, more modern hospital. Was a smaller, not a smaller, okay? One more time. Wanford House was a smaller, more modern hospital. Good to go? Okay, hit the like button if you are enjoying, if you're doing well, if you like your performance so far. And the last sentence here of the second level of practice. Remember, we practiced the first level. Now it's a little more complex, second level. The economy was in a state of collapse. The economy was in a state of collapse. A state of collapse. One more time. The economy was in a state of collapse. All right, not I state. I state of collapse. Right? So no is before the S. Okay, moving on then, you ask yourself the same question. Am I ready to move on? Listen to yourself again. Self-feedback, guys. Self-feedback is the secret to success in life. If you don't listen to feedback, you don't improve, you don't evolve. And the feedback that comes from you is the best kind of feedback. You learn recognizing your mistake. If someone tells you you are wrong, but you don't see it, why are you going to change? For the person. So if someone tells you you're wrong and you, oh, I am wrong, that's what changes your English. That's what changes you as a person. That's what gets you to evolve, you know, emotionally and to mature. So with English, it's the same, okay? Self-feedback is very, very important. Don't move on unless you feel you got 80% or 90% of it at least. Not 100, right? 100 is hard. So moving on then to the third level of practice. Oh, I really suck at this whole. I'm a little lost on YouTube here, but it's fine. Okay, let's just do something over here. Okay, let me just have a do-over here, because you know. I lost myself a little bit. Okay, so there you go. Oh, okay. All right, so Wait. Okay, now we're going to read a sentence here. The third level of practice is going to be, you're going to see my face now, okay? Is going to be a full sentence with a lot of S and consonants. A lot of S and consonants that I am going to, let me see here. I'm going to show you right now here on YouTube, and I'm also going to paste it to YouTube because it's a longer one. It will require that you read it, otherwise you will be lost and you won't be able to do it. If the guys here over on YouTube are already reading that on screen, you can start practicing, okay? And everyone else on Instagram will see it right now. So the sentence is, a specialist stopped by and recommended a smaller, cheaper smartphone as a strategy to reduce the money spent. Can you see how many like everyday words begin with S and then a consonant? Okay, so I'm gonna make this into a like fixed comment, and everybody else on YouTube is also able to read the sentence here. Okay, so we're gonna repeat that sentence. Third level practice. Yes, it's on bio, Miguel. In English, we call that bio, okay? Not profile. Bio is the name. In Portuguese, we say perfil, but in English, it's profile. It's bio, sorry. Okay, so what are we going to do here? A specialist stopped by. Read the sentence with me. Read the sentence after me. A specialist stopped by and recommended a smaller, cheaper smartphone as a strategy to reduce the money spent on phones. You go now. You go. It's going to be tough to grab all of the words and do it. So let's go part by part. A specialist stopped by. A specialist stopped by and recommended. A specialist stopped by and recommended a smaller. A specialist stopped by and recommended a smaller, cheaper smartphone. The sentence is here. A specialist stopped by and recommended a smaller, cheaper smartphone as a strategy. As a strategy to reduce the money spent on phones. One more time then, the whole thing. A specialist stopped by. Can you see that the S, the T, a specialist stopped? They basically become one, all right? A specialist stopped by and recommended a smaller, cheaper smartphone as a strategy to reduce the money spent on phones. You go, you go. Okie dokie. So basically that was the third level practice that I chose for the class. What else can you do in terms of third level practice? You can grab, after you study 2 or 3 sounds, okay, the S, the final N, the ED, maybe. You grab any news article from a website that you like, 2-3 paragraphs, and practice that. Read those paragraphs, repeat, read them out loud, record yourself, and check, am I pronouncing the ED, the N, or the S, and the S correctly or not? That would be also another way to improve. One time, of course not. You need to do that a couple of times to see until you feel absolutely comfortable about it. So let's then move on here. Pronunciation, going back, how do you improve your pronunciation? Today, I helped you to improve the S, common Brazilian mistake, common, among professionals that live abroad, professionals that work with English every day. So you will practice the 3 levels of practice, making sure that your self-feedback is giving you the right direction. Just moving on and not listening to yourself will not do the trick. You have to know if you're doing it right. Every step, check. I improved. I think I got it, 80%. Move on to the next level. And the 4th level of practice is real life. If you have that opportunity, grab it, okay? You will be at a meeting, you will be talking to a client. Grab that opportunity. You practiced enough. You practiced a lot. You have your own feedback. You know that you improved. Now it's time to test it. Put it out there. Learn mechanical movements. It takes repetition. At the beginning, it's strange, but the strange becomes part of you. Trust me, when I started improving my own pronunciation, as I said at the beginning of the class, I've never lived abroad. My pronunciation was improved with hard work. And now you have the chance to get those tips from me. I learned very intuitively how to pronounce this sound better and improve that sound. And so the feeling that your English is not natural because that sound, it's like you are pushing it too hard, you're trying too hard. No, it will become part of you. It will become automatic when you learn the movement. When you expose yourself many times to that sound until it becomes natural for you to produce it, it will become natural, okay? Trust me. It will become part of you. The strange becomes part of you. So don't forget to practice this. Make sure that your feedback is doing well. I mean, that you're giving yourself feedback. If necessary, watch this class again. I think it would be necessary, but you can also use the practice of the class to practice again by yourself. And how can you do that? Go to our Telegram channel. Send me a message if you want the link to that, because I will send this class material over to the Telegram channel, which I do every week, okay? So you can just grab the material and study by yourself tomorrow, any chance you get. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. We are Fluent for Real everywhere, okay? Follow us. And we will see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Brazil time over on YouTube and on Instagram live. Or you can catch the class later, okay? Grab the class later and watch it whenever you can. But don't miss out on that content. We are here to help you. MC and I, she's not here tonight, but we are here to help you leave that okay English behind, and stop saying, my English is okay, my English is none, Stop saying that, Own your English. Open doors to any professional challenge. Speak the English that only 2% of Brazilians actually speak. Open doors in the market to new clients or any other professional challenge that you may have, okay? So thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye, everybody. I will see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Brazil time here on Instagram and on YouTube as well, okay? Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye. And have an amazing Thursday, Friday, and weekend. This beautiful December that has been rainy, but I guess cozier and warmer than last year, right? A little bit calmer and friendlier to us. So bye-bye. See you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, Bia. Oh, Bia, I didn't see you coming in. Bye-bye. And bye-bye to you too over on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.